Hey everyone, hope you're well. Today we've got a bit of news to talk about. Embark have posted a blog talking about how matchmaking exactly works and some changes coming to matchmaking. And we've also got a new interview sort of thing talking about the future of Arc Raiders and some new enemy types coming and some completely new arc design. So a bit of a teaser about future content. Let's first start with the matchmaking blog that has just been posted. I think a lot of people are quite curious about how the matchmaking works because, aggression-based matchmaking is a thing in this game. And if you're very friendly, you're going to be put with other friendly players for the most part. And they're really breaking down exactly how it works here. I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea or not. I mean, being transparent is great, but hopefully this won't make it easier to game the system. Let's read through. Notes on the matchmaking system. You've probably seen plenty of discussion about matchmaking in Arc Raiders. We've been reading it too, and we want to bring some clarity to what the system is trying to do, what it does in practice, and what it doesn't do, okay? What we strive for. In the Rust bout, the kind of raider you become should be up to you. Topside works because it's unpredictable. You can never be sure if you can trust the people you meet or how dangerous they might be. That freedom and the uncertainty it creates is what drives the tension, the encounters, and the choices that make every run feel like its own story. At the same time, we don't want dedicated PvP players to consistently steamroll raiders who aren't as interested in PvP or who are still finding their footing. So our matchmaking is built around two goals. Fairness, we do our best to match players who have a similar likelihood of succeeding in the round. One simple example, we prioritize matching equal squad sizes where possible. To be honest, they do a really good job of actually making sure that happens. A lot of games don't. Enjoyment, we do our best to match players who are likely to have fun together. In practice, we found that matching players based on playstyle drives enjoyment and reduces friction. So playstyle-based matchmaking, I suppose, is what they call it internally. We've all called it aggression-based matchmaking. Let's see how it really works. And like any matchmaking system, we pursue those goals while respecting real constraints such as matchmaking time and latency. So obviously, if you're in a really quiet region, you'll probably see more people running around shooting you when you're used to friendlier lobbies just because they're trying to get that match started. Let's have a look. We take multiple factors into account when forming a lobby. One of the strongest is your playstyle across previous rounds, especially as it relates to how you engage with other raiders. It's important to understand that playstyles aren't binary. So it's not a PvP lobby and a PvE lobby. That's not the only story. There's more to it than that. There's a scale. As they say here, this isn't friendly versus shoot on sight. It's a continuous scale. Some raiders are almost always cooperative. Some raiders are highly engaged in PvP. Most raiders fall somewhere in between, maybe friendly until threatened, maybe opportunistic, maybe cautious, maybe unpredictable on a bad day. Our system tries to place you with players who sit closer to you on that scale while still keeping topside from becoming completely predictable. So they've got a bit of a chart here. And I guess that's a bit too zoomed in, isn't it? We got the matchmaking profile distribution. Players are spread across a continuous spectrum, not a binary choice. So when you get put into a match, your specific player is going to try and find a range of players that kind of between your play style. And the way it's kind of ranked is it's pretty much aggression based, right? It's got you're either a cooperative player, a mixed player, and a PvP focused player. And depending on how aggressive you are, I mean, let's be honest, how much damage you're doing to other players within your last previous rounds is going to up your sort of rating on the PvP scale here, right? So if you're a very cooperative player, you're going to mostly get matched with other cooperative players. You might get someone on the scale that's occasionally killed someone put into your lobby, but it's very unlikely that if you've been very friendly for the last 10 matches, you're going to get put into matched with a player that's always going around killing people all the time. But obviously, player choice is always an option in this game. Just because a friendly guy here is usually friendly doesn't mean they're not just going to wake up one day and just start shooting people. Like, it could happen, and it does happen, right? So let's keep reading here. What it does, there are two simple rules to how playstyle-based matchmaking behaves. Similarity is more likely, not guaranteed. You have a higher chance of being matched with raiders who past playstyles is similar to yours, and a lower chance of being matched with raiders whose playstyle is very different, but there's no hard guarantee. Like I mentioned earlier, like, for example, if there's not many players to fill a lobby at a certain time, then it's probably going to widen that range, and you're more likely to go against players that might be not matching your playstyle, right? There's also number 2, your behavior shapes your future lobbies gradually. If you change how you play, the kinds of raiders you tend to meet will gradually shift over time. Your behavior influences what's most likely, but never locks you into a single experience. I think we've kind of experienced it, and this just kind of confirms it. Like, if I kill a player, the next game may be kind of similar to my usual friendly lobbies, but if I kill another player, then my next game is going to have more of a mixture of players. And it's like, as I keep continuing to kill players, I'm going up and up this PvP player scale until my lobbies are just full-blown gulag lobbies where everyone's just killing each other. It's pretty easy. I don't necessarily, this is for so far pretty much explaining what we already knew, and it makes sense. And they said here, this is why we see such a wide range of interactions topside. Raiders forming impromptu musical bands and others vibing along, strangers lending a hand in a tough moment while scavengers thrive on remains, betrayers when you least expect them, and justice when you need it most. Firefights that start on sight, and negotiations that end with everyone walking away. Yeah, so basically, it's aggression-based matchmaking as we kind of understood it. Some outcomes are rarer than others, but they're all part of what makes each round a unique adventure. This isn't a full-blown attempt to segregate playstyles. Topside wouldn't be topside if it didn't throw you a curveball every now and again. We want you to have fun, but danger always lurks, and you will still meet raiders who surprise you. Yeah, let's keep reading. Mythbusting. I guess this part will be quite interesting. We want to keep some level of mystery in matchmaking because unpredictability is part of the experience, but we can clear up a few common myths. There are not only 2 kinds of lobbies, friendly and aggressive. It's a scale, not 2 buckets. Most players land somewhere between the extremes, and matchmaking is more likely to pair you with raiders whose playstyle is similar to yours on that scale, without guaranteeing a specific outcome. So yeah, like, we've all been in sus lobbies, we've been in friendly lobbies, we've been in super PvP lobbies. It's a scale. I feel like we already knew that. There are no PvE only lobbies. Topside will always carry risk. You may trend toward meeting raiders with similar preferences, but there's no guarantee you'll never be attacked by another raider. Once again, kind of what we knew. This one's really important. A lot of people still believe this to this day. Your end of round feedback does not affect matchmaking. It does not have any impact, and it never has. This has been a rumor, a myth. And they've said it once already, but they're saying it here again. The survey is valuable for us when we look at trends and make design decisions, but it isn't used as a next lobby lever. So whatever you vote on your end of match feedback does not affect your thing at all. Okay, we did miss one here as well. One shot or kill does not immediately put you in PvP-focused lobbies. Matchmaking isn't meant to overact to single moments. It looks at patterns over time, and changes tend to be gradual rather than instant. And that's true. We've experienced it myself. I've killed a player once and been in a friendly lobby the next match, but it's a slippery slope, is what I like to call it, because once you start killing someone in self-defense and you start going deeper and deeper into that PvP rating, it just ramps up and ramps up and ramps up until you're in a full-blown war zone, right? This is interesting as well. Your loadout does not affect matchmaking. Matchmaking isn't driven by your kit, and we don't scale lobby difficulty based on how much your loadout costs. So for those that wonder, we did test it ourselves in the past, but gear-based matchmaking is not a thing at the moment in Arc Raiders. So that's something a lot of people also believe. They just come out and said that it's not true. Patches and updates don't reset your matchmaking profile. This is a really big rumor that I hear a lot. Everyone says on patch day, on every week when trials reset, matchmaking gets reset. And I also started to think maybe that's true as well. But it says your playstyle history carries over across patches. You may notice slightly rougher matches in the first few minutes after an update. That's just because the pool is small while players are still updating, but it recovers quickly as more raiders come online. So that's also a myth that is completely not true. Quite interesting. Looting knocked out players doesn't affect your matchmaking. Okay, this is really good to know as well. A lot of people are scared to even touch another raider's body because they're worried that it'll affect their aggression rating. And I've looted so many bodies and it's never had any impact on me. It's good to hear it from the devs. Looting players does not affect your matchmaking. So you can go and loot bodies and not worry about it making you go into PvP lobbies, right? So There it is in writing, okay? We don't matchmake based on the squad leader. Each member of a squad influences the squad profile. The leader has no special weight compared to their squad mates. And then turning crossplay on or off does not impact the level of cooperation / PvP in the round. Changing crossplay changes who's in the matchmaking pool, and thanks to that, the matchmaking time, but it doesn't guarantee the tone of your encounters. You know, I personally think that, like, turning off crossplay may have more of an impact than is really stated here, because if you turn off crossplay, it's going to take a longer time for you to get matched into a match, which means they may widen the band of players. So, for example, turning off crossplay means if you're like a friendly player, they may widen the search range of different playstyles. So you may end up seeing more rats, to be honest, with crossplay off. That's my personal belief. They haven't said that here, though. But that's my belief. New matchmaking changes. They've also changed some things. Okay. Ooh. Okay, this is huge. Based on community feedback, we've identified two major shortcomings in how we used to estimate playstyle, and both are getting addressed. Defending yourself is no longer treated the same as starting a fight. Previously, your playstyle didn't capture whether you started a PvP encounter or merely defended yourself. So in the past, this was a big problem. I would defend myself, and then I would get put into PvP hell, just because each match I keep defending myself. Now, cautious raiders, this meant cautious raiders could be treated as more PvP focused than they actually are. Now the two are treated differently. So what that means is I can now defend myself. Oh my God. That feels so good. That is huge. Huge, 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 huge. Really good. Also, this next one is really good to stop rats sneaking into PvE lobbies. Low activity rounds carry less weight in your playstyle history. Rounds with little topside interaction, like spawning and surrendering, used to impact players' estimated playstyle more than expected. Reducing their weight helps the system reflect how you genuinely play when you're out there making choices. These are live now, and we'll keep tuning them as we see how they play out. So you can't just surrender a bunch over and over to get into friendly lobbies now. You might actually have to go and play some rounds a little bit. I think that's a good change overall. It's going to be a bit frustrating for some PvE players that accidentally find themselves in PvP lobbies, but it does stop opportunistic rats getting into friendly lobbies to take advantage of that to get free gear. I think that's a good thing. Good changes. This is very cool. Raid your way. To sum it up, we are committed to making Topside more fair, more fun, and more rewarding without standing off the edges that make Arc Raiders what it is. Play how you want to play. Over time, your behavior helps shape the kind of raiders you're most likely to encounter, but there'll always be room for the unexpected. I think this is cool. I like that they've managed to find this balance, and I'm really happy about the defending yourself change. I died earlier today because I almost, well, he didn't shoot me yet, I guess, but you know, I've been so cautious to just not shoot back because of this issue at times. This is great. I can't wait to say goodbye to all the rats that try and take advantage of me now. This is great. Okay, we also have this to read. Arc Raiders is getting massive enemy types. Let's read through this then. Arc Raiders is getting new massive enemy types, including completely new arc designs. Exclusive, Embark Studios tells ScreenRant several new giant arc enemies are currently in development, including unfamiliar machine designs. Embark Studios recently elaborated on Arc Raiders' long-term future during ScreenRant's interview tied to the launch of the Riven Tides update. Let's just make that a little bit bigger so you can read it. Hang on. Including discussing plans for larger map expansions, evolving progression systems, and how expeditions works. Teed the roadmap leading through early 2027. The developer also confirmed another major focus for the extraction shooter's future, entirely new large-scale Arc enemy types. In my interview with Arc Raiders executive producer Alexander Grondel for ScreenRant, he revealed that Embark is actively developing new large arcs for future updates. Specifically, very large arcs, including some with completely new designs. Okay, this is a bit of a hint of what's to come. I'm going to kind of skip over some of these bits as a bit of fluff. Let's get to the actual kind of more interesting stuff. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I guess these quotes are the most important thing in this article. So, firstly, he said, I can't go into too much detail here yet, but there are several new, very large arcs currently in development, both with familiar shapes and completely new. We don't want to make it too formulaic, so we're always challenging ourselves to think differently about these very large arcs. So, a lot of people complained, oh, it's just another wasp with a flamethrower. Oh, it's just another rocketeer. And they're really taking that to heart. So, can't wait to see the future of Arc and what that will entail. Continuing, they also said, we want to create engaging new content that feels fresh, unique, and distinctly Arc Raiders. Our focus is to make Arc Raiders the best game it can be. And while we look at the competition, we want to make sure that we keep improving upon what's good and fixing what isn't. Player feedback is very much part of our decisions here. Rather than chasing competitors, we're committed to making Arc Raiders great, and we're excited about its future. Okay. That's very, very limited there. But that's pretty cool. Pretty excited to see the future of Arc Raiders and very excited to test the matchmaking changes. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio.